Alright guys, today we have our new topic, that is the histology of the nervous system. Yesterday in my two videos we covered about the histology of the epithelium and followed by the histology of the connective tissue. Now we're going to study about the histology of the nervous system. The nervous system, as you all know, is very important system of the body, and without the nervous system a person cannot survive even for a single day or a single hour. The nervous system is basically classified into two types. Number one is your central nervous system, followed by the other type that is known as the peripheral nervous system. CNS is the abbreviation for the central nervous system and PNS is the abbreviation for the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system consists of your brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system is the second type of the nervous system, which consists of your cranial and your spinal nerves, along with your cerebral nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. There are some nerve fibers as well, which are your afferent nerve fibers and your efferent nerve fibers. The afferent nerve fibers are those nerve fibers which will conduct the impulses from your body deep towards your central nervous system, and efferent nerve means away from the central nervous system, so they will conduct impulses from the cerebral nervous system to your effectors. Those are your muscles and your glands. Now that was your types of the nervous system. After that the brain and spinal cord, they are protected by some type of layers. So those protecting layers that surround and protect the brain and spinal cord from any sort of injury, they are called as the protective layers, and there are three types. Number one is the dura mater, then you have the arachnoid matter, and then you have the pia matter. The outermost and the toughest covering of the brain and spinal cord is called as the dura mater, followed by then the below the dura mater. Like if this is the outermost, this is the outermost dura mater, right? Below it you have a delicate, this one that is surrounding the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, is the arachnoid matter. Below this arachnoid matter, the innermost, it is known as the pia mater or pia mater. Between this arachnoid and pia mater there is a space that is called as the subarachnoid space, which contains a most important type of fluid known as the cerebrospinal fluid. Now we're going to study what is the cerebrospinal fluid. The cerebrospinal fluid that is present in the space, subarachnoid space, between your pia and arachnoid matter is the cerebrospinal fluid. The cerebrospinal fluid, its general characteristics is that it is colorless and it is a very clear fluid. And then its function is that it will help in the protection of the brain and spinal cord. It will help in its metabolism. It will help in hemostasis, in balancing the nutrients between the brain and the spinal cord. Where it has been produced in the choroid plexus, which we will study later on in your second year anatomy and physiology, and it is basically located in the left ventricle of the brain. And once done, then the remaining, they can be again reabsorbed into the venous blood by the means of villi. Those are known as the arachnoid villi. Then you have the types of neurons. There are three types of neurons, as we studied before. You have the multipolar neurons, you have the bipolar neurons, and you have the unipolar neuron. First of all, what are the neurons? They are the structure and functional unit of the nervous system. Their function is basically to conduct and receive impulses. The conduction is from the skin, from your receptors to the central nervous system, and then receive it from the central nervous system. They will receive it and then transmit it back to the effectors to perform the desired action. There are three types: multipolar, bipolar, and unipolar. The multipolar neurons are very numerous, and they are the most common. They consist of numerous dendrites, but they only consist of one axon. They are present in your cerebrum and your cerebellum. Then you have the bipolar neurons, which consist of only a single dendrite followed by a single axon, and they are located in your eye, ears, and nose, and their action is sensory. And then you have the unipolar neurons, which consist of many processes which pass through the cell body of the neuron, and then they divide into two axonal branches. One of that axonal branch, it forms the central nervous system, and the other, it goes towards the periphery. They are present in your sensory root ganglion and the dorsal root ganglion of your spinal nerves. Then you have the interneurons that are present between the sensory and the motor neuron. Then we have the composition of the neurons. Neurons consist of axons and dendrites. What are first of all neurons? The neurons, there are three types. There are efferent, and interneurons. Efferent can be both. They can be either somatic, they can be either visceral. Somatic means soma, from the body. So any impulses which will pass from the body to the central nervous system, those efferent fibers are called as the somatic efferent fibers. Then those fibers which are passing from the body, like from your viscera, from your stomach, from your heart, and going to the brain, those are called as the visceral efferent nerve fibers. Then you have the efferent nerve fiber which will pass from the central nervous system and go to the muscles. Those nerve fibers are called as the efferent nerve fibers, and interneuron fibers which are present between the sensory and the motor nerve. Then the cell body of your neurons, they consist of your nasal granules, and the fibers, they extend from your cell body to your dendrites and